Welcome everyone, this is Alex for the Coaster Spot, and we're back at Hersheypark for construction update number 13. Filmed on April 2nd. The park is open for the day, but we're here early to do some updates all around the day. We'll go up in the drone very shortly. It's kind of windy, so we'll get a quick view. A lot has happened in just 4 days since we were last here on Wednesday. More lift hill structure, and I think they've done one rail that bridges the gap all the way from the wave turn to that stall. So obviously I haven't seen the drone footage yet, but yeah, a lot of progress. And this is what I was saying before, like, yeah, the progress was really slow, but they were doing lots of groundwork, lots of prep work, and lots of the higher bits of the ride. And now a lot of the ride is going to be a lot lower. The steel structure of the lift hill is all plug and play, so that should go up really quickly. Yeah, it's going to fly up over the next few weeks. It's going to be a very exciting time. In addition to our normal viewpoints, we're also obviously going to go into the park and get all those viewpoints. Take a close look at the station, the lift hill approach, and all of the other views of all the other elements. It's going to be an exciting day for construction, for sure.
First, let's take a closer look at the exit of that wave turn. You can see only one rail has been installed currently, with all the track ties that connect the two rails together sticking up, and just so much progress in this area. Another view of the lift hill support that has grown quite a bit, and the zero-G stall, which flips you upside down and then just hangs you for a very long time. And we'll talk more about that later, because as far as I'm aware, the shaping of it is very different from most Rocky Mountain construction coasters. Another view of the entire site, of how dense and gigantic the structure has gotten, and it's really neat, this crossover, since you'll be coming right back where you came from after doing the double up wave turn and zero-G stall. And here we actually can see both wave turns right in front of each other. And if you don't know, a wave turn is an element where you are flipped onto your side 90 degrees, and then it's an airtime hill. So instead of trying to be ejected upwards to the sky, it's kind of trying to be ejected towards the ground, more or less. It's a very weird feeling. My favorite one is Iron Gwazi's first one, and hopefully these ones are just as good. More lift hill structure. Again, that will probably be our focus of the next update, because I'm thinking that's going to grow quite a bit in the next 4 days. And what's really neat about this is once that lift hill structure goes up, it should go above the tree line that you see in the background with that mountain. It's going to be that tall. And finally, quite a few updates ago, I was hoping to get a picture of Storm Runner and Fahrenheit together. Well, I should probably do that pretty soon, because I think it's going to be blocked pretty soon by that lift hill. But I love all the layers of coasters here. All right, of course, we need to go into the air. As I mentioned before, it was windy, so kept the drone pretty low today. Plus, we have so much to show you inside the park that we need to keep it short anyways. And yeah, not any deliveries of track that I can really see. They've moved some track around, probably to prep it to be installed, adding more of those track ties. But yeah, if they don't get some more deliveries soon, I think they're going to run out of track pretty soon, because as far as I can see, there's no straight track. So that means no lift hill pieces have been delivered yet. And I do not believe they're being delivered anywhere else around Hershey. Comment down below if you know any secret storage lots that I'm unaware of, but I don't think there are any. Probably noticed that there's 2 gaps of track, one taking place exiting that first airtime hill, and another would be exiting that second wave turn. It's completely void of supports and track, and that's because there's a bunch of places where they just need better access for cranes. Now you could bring in cranes with more lifting capacity, longer stuff. That's expensive, so it's easier just to not build up the structure in some places and leave it be until everything is done. In that back corner right next to the station, they have started building the structure for what will be the second zero-G roll and the final inversion. So good to see that they're going to be moving on to that helix area. I feel like we might finally see some work in that helix area in the next couple of weeks. And that will be really exciting to see, because we get so close to that inside the park, as you'll see in the shots very soon, like very close, like you're right underneath it. So that's going to be very exciting. And then just one more amazing close-up as we fly towards the structure of the 2 inversions that have been installed and airtime hill wave turns. I've gotten so much more excited about this ride. It's looking better every day for sure. And now we're in the park. This is a view of the station and the dip out of the station, and close-up of it. It's very steep. With the drone did not show how steep that thing is. It looks like almost 45 degrees, so that's going to be a nice pop of airtime right out of the station from the back row. And here is how big that wave turn is from the midways. It's already on a hill, so it just looks absolutely massive as you're walking underneath it. And this is what I was talking about with that final helix for both Wildcat and Wildcat's Revenge. It's the final helix. There's the entry into the 0G stall, which looks just fantastic. And that underflip from afar, that is just wicked. And here's the approach to the lift hill. Of course, the drone has given us an idea of what it looks like, but this really shows you the elevation change and the triple dip of it. People are calling it a double dip. It is definitely a triple down. 1, 2, and then kind of a 3 into that turn. I don't think it'll be much of a pop, but a little bit. And that, in my opinion, is a very nice looking last turn into the lift hill. I think it reminds me most of like Twisted Cyclone maybe, but it should be a fun time right before the ride even really begins its way up to 140 feet. And here are the footers that have been installed for extra steel supports that are going to be placed to support the overbanks and the turns that are going to make up the new helix area here. And once again, we're just following that approach to the lift hill. And here's where we show you the station area and how it looks from the midway.
Hey Jeff, you want to talk about how ugly this is?
I don't want to talk about how ugly it is. It looks like a front to a bank.
Yeah, hopefully they fix this. The doors are very shiny.
You have this beautiful station structure over here. I mean, it's seen better days, but it's still beautiful. And then you have this abomination, like a tumor attached to the side.
I feel like they're gonna add some landscaping or something. You put a few bushes in front of it, it will make it half the height kind of looking. It's just so it's imposing because it's on top of the hill and it's already a pretty tall building. Yeah.
It's right there in the front.
Crazy.
I mean, remember this is where the exit walk is.
Yeah.
And here's the views I've been waiting for a while. That is that second wave turn, and that's an awesome view through the trees. It's a shame that it's going to be blocked once the foliage comes in, but yeah, that is quite impressive. But I think we're going to get a really good view of that from the queue, so no worries there. That's going to be a showstopper, as they call it. And here's just a general look at the entire station area and the view from the midway. Everything that's taking place. The queue is definitely quite torn apart, way more than I was expecting it to be. Right here, I think these probably are going to be footers for a new sign, but I don't know. But they're definitely new. Just lots of boards torn up and changed. Don't know if they're going to be ripping all this out and changing it to a different style, or if they're just going to be replacing what needs to be replaced. And the entrance is being renovated, of course. Get rid of that Midway America look, definitely. That's what they're seen to be trying to do overall with the aesthetic. Let's hope that that giant sheet metal of that storage area gets a nice logo or mural or something, or some shrubbery. Just more views of that stall, queue line, and the wave turn. And here is the underflip from a view that we haven't gotten before. It really shows you the profile of that drop. It really looks like it's going to feel like a drop as you exit it, instead of just kind of feeling an extension of the inversion, which sometimes I feel like is a mistake with designs. It just kind of feels like you're falling out, but it's just a means of exit and not an actual element, which is nice to see. I think we're going to get some interesting forces on that, I hope. And finally, from the parking lot, here's how gigantic that first wave turn is, that stall, airtime hill, second wave turn, and the underflip. And here's what's different about this stall is you can see how early it goes upside down, and then it climbs as you're upside down. Most RMC 0G stalls, entrance and exit are pretty much at the same height, if I'm not mistaken, but this one, it exits so much higher than the entrance. So I'm interested to see how that is gonna feel. But that's it. Thanks you so much for watching. This has been Alex for the Coaster Spot. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you very soon. A new update probably on Saturday.